4 years ago, then Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby shared a big announcement. Her office would no longer prosecute marijuana possession cases regardless of the amount or prior criminal record. Well, Maryland's recreational cannabis law means that some who have these charges on their records can get them expunged. Joining us now to talk a little bit about expungement when it comes to marijuana in the state is Chris Sweeney. He's the Workforce Development Manager over at Maryland Volunteer Lawyer Service. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
This will affect a lot of people who may have a charge on their record right now. Come July, they could see some of that go or all of it go from their record, yeah?
That's correct. Basically, any person who has a case on their criminal record where they were charged or convicted with possession of cannabis is pretty much going to be eligible for expungement.
This is a big deal, big enough that the General Assembly put out grant money. I think you guys got hundreds of thousands of worth. What will you do? How will outreach work for you?
Maryland Volunteer Lawyer Service is going to partner with a number of other legal organizations throughout Maryland, places like Legal Aid, Homeless Persons Representation Project, Free State Justice, and others. And we have a statewide campaign to basically do outreach, do events, trying to get the word out, hosting clinics where people can come and either learn about expungement or even meet with an attorney and potentially get the paperwork started to get the record expunged that day.
That day. And that was my question. How long a process is this? Is this something that you see last for a while, or it sounds like it's immediate, huh?
It's not immediate. The paperwork at a clinic, we can get that completed that day.
Okay.
And then the process, it depends on the county that you're filing in. It can take 3 to 6 months for the courts to actually process an expungement.
Tell me about the interest right now. What do you hear from people as they realize that this is a possibility for them? What are they saying and what are they asking about?
The interest has been really high. Expungement has been a really popular service for MVLS for several years, ever since the lawmakers have kind of brought in who's eligible for expungement.
Sure.
And with cannabis, I think it's really common for someone to have that on their record. So there has been a lot of interest, and people are always perk up at the idea of getting criminal record expungement because it's such a great opportunity to remove barriers to stable employment, housing, and other opportunities.
And I think that's what people miss out on, or at least as you look at this issue. For some, they just say, oh, you get it wiped off your record and then move on. But there are things, it's sort of a domino effect. Yes, it gets off your record, but the doors begin to open for you more.
Right. When an employer sees a criminal case on someone's record, they're going to make a judgment about that person, and when someone's getting something expunged, you know, this is something where either they weren't ever convicted in the first place, or even if they were, they've served their time, it's been a number of years, they're ready to move on so they can put that behind them and seek employment and housing.
How much of this do you think is public perception? I think the perception of, we went through a whole, when we were growing up, it was a just say no, period. And then for a while, I think there became some sort of acceptance, especially their athletes who have been using for their health. Do you think the public opinion has helped get to this point?
Yes, absolutely. I think over the last several years, or maybe decade or so, definitely the public perception has shifted on use of cannabis as being just kind of something that an adult can choose to do or not to do. And Maryland voters went to the ballot box last November and they approved legalization.
When it comes to eligibility, are there folks who fit in this category who can seek your help and those who cannot? Or is anyone who has this charge eligible to come in and look towards expungement?
MVLS is a nonprofit. We offer free civil legal services to people who can't afford attorneys.
Okay.
So we can match someone with an attorney to represent them for an expungement if they qualify for our services based on income.
Okay, tell me about contacting. There are people who are going to want to reach out and see how they can get involved or at least get your help. What should they do?
The best way to reach us is to go to our website, mvlslaw.org.